Hello everyone and welcome to this Uni Taste Tuesday. My name is Jon Cheek. I'm the founder and director of UniTasterDays, and we run these Uni Taster Tuesday events every single Tuesday at 9:30 in the morning, 12 o'clock at lunchtime, and then 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The 9:30 and 3 o'clock events are subject to specials, and this one today is media, and I'll introduce our speaker Angelica in a second on that front. And then the 12 o'clock event is a general introduction to university, which includes different aspects of university every week, whether that's applications, personal statement tips, student finance, etc. But you've not tuned in to listen to me, you've tuned in to listen to Angelica, who's joined us today to do an introduction to media courses, which is likely to include an introduction to the type of courses in media that you'll have, maybe a few application tips, maybe a few career tips as well, all talking about the media subject area. So whether you are watching this live today or listening back on the recording, a big welcome to you. In terms of people watching live, we have a Q&A tab right at the foot of the screen. So if you've got any questions at all for Angelica, please do ask them as the session goes on. And it might be I ask Angelica them in person, or it might be I'll give you some contact details and we can get answers for you afterwards. But in terms of my welcome, I'm pretty much there now, ready to pass on to Angelica. Angelica Johnson is a student. I'll get this right, Angelica, is an Outreach and Student Recruitment Officer for Business, Computer and Media at the University of Gloucestershire. A big welcome, Angelica. And Angelica also, in a few weeks' time, is going to return and also talk to us about business courses. But this event today is about media. And without further ado, Angelica, I'll pass the floor to you, if that's okay.
Right, thank you. Hi, so as Jon said, my name's Angelica Johnson and I work at the University of Gloucestershire as a Student Recruitment and Outreach Officer. For those of you that aren't familiar with where we're located in the UK, here we are. So as you can see, we're split between two cities, Cheltenham and Gloucester, but you can see where we are in terms of proximity to major cities. So today I'm going to talk to you about an introduction to media, and this will cover courses within the UK, career opportunities, also talking to you about interview skills and just what to do in preparation for when you're doing your open day visits, be it on site or online. So from blogs to vlogs, radio to podcasts, TV to film and everything in between, media contributes so much to our day-to-day lives. So much so that the creative industry contributes £92 billion annually to the UK's economy, creating lots of jobs and opportunities for graduate students and hopefully you guys when you go on to do your degrees and graduate into your desired sector. So I can imagine some of you are currently studying either A-level or BTEC media study courses or related courses. So it's potentially encompassing everything. So I can imagine you're getting a bit of film in terms of newspapers and magazines, radio. Some of you might be looking at music videos. I can imagine that you'll be doing creative writing as well. So you're doing quite a lot in terms of what you're studying. It's incredibly broad. However, when you make the decision to go on to higher education and study at university, you'll see that you'll be focusing on a specialism. So those topics that you would be studying either at college or sixth form, it will be broken down into 3 headings and then you'll have your subheadings. So if you're currently studying music, you will potentially choose a degree where you'll just be focusing on composition, for example, so producing your own music. Some of you might be really talented singers and really want to go into that sector and become an artist. So that could be your specialism. Some of you might be keen festival goers and really love the kind of setup and consider going into event management. So that could be your specialism. Some of you want to continue going into film, television and media and want to produce your own films. You can specialize in that. Screenwrite, also directs. If you're interested in journalism, incredibly good at creative writing, you could do online or print publications, or if you want to be on the front line and do things like this and present live, you might be interested in doing broadcast journalism, be it in TV or on the radio. So going to university will give you the skills and the knowledge to focus on one subject in particular. So here are just some examples of some media related degrees. So if you're interested in being on the front line, you love Sky Sports, you really want to kind of be on the pitch or, reporting on Formula One, you could go and study sports journalism. If you're excited about the Russo brothers and you love things like Avengers Endgame, you can study visual effects as a degree. Again, similar to animation, if you love Studio Ghibli, Pixar, Disney, you can focus on animation. If you're really techy and you're really interested in graphic design, app design, you can study digital media. If you want to become a singer, popular music would be a degree that you would go on to. And if you're actually really enjoying what you're currently studying and you like the creative writing aspects and you love the kind of generalization of your course, you can continue on to study English and media. So these are just a few examples, but there are a lot more available at other institutions across the UK. So when you make your decision, so when you've narrowed down what degree that you'd like to study at the university, I'm going to give you some top tips to kind of keep note of when you're logging on to potentially a virtual open day or going to an on-site one. So this is your university checklist. So you want to keep these things in mind. So your location, course entry requirements, facilities, industry links, and placements. So when you're thinking of a location, it's really good to factor in its proximity to where you're currently living. So some of you might have a car, so it might be really easy for you to kind of get around from A to B. But when you're at university, you'll have to kind of think about budgeting. So thinking about fuel costs. So equally, if the university that you choose is quite at a distance to where you're currently living, you might have to take multiple train journeys or take various coaches to get from A to B. So that's something to keep in mind of in terms of budgeting to enable you to get from your home to university and back. Equally, some of you might want to stay local and you might be able to walk or get the bus. When I studied my undergraduate degree, I chose a university that was a 20-minute walk, so it's incredibly convenient for me. But definitely factoring the location is a key thing to take into consideration when narrowing down your university choice. Another thing that you should look at is entry requirements. So some of you might currently be studying A-level photography, art, graphic design. You might be doing a BTEC in creative media. So you might already have some of the skills that are required when in studying the degree choice when you go to university. Some of you might not actually be studying that subject, and that's absolutely fine, because what the academics are looking for is your passion and you being able to demonstrate that, be it when you might have done work experience, or you might actually currently be doing a hobby or really enjoyed doing things like photography or blogging. So we're now nearing the summer holidays. So this is a really key time to use your initiative and start doing things that will demonstrate your passion when it comes to interview or writing your personal statement for UCAS. And this could be setting up a blog on WordPress to demonstrate your creative writing. You might want to do a Pinterest and set up a mood board and showcase all the exciting photography that you're doing. Or you might want to go onto YouTube and subscribe to Masterclass and watch Martin Scorsese, for example, teach you the importance of directing and producing. So what the academics are looking for is for you to demonstrate your passion. So summer holidays are coming up. Take that time to really use your initiative and start actively building a portfolio of work. So when it comes to your interview, you can talk through what you've been doing. And equally, some universities offer a integrated foundation degree for their media related subjects. So this is a foundation year where it gives you the opportunity to upskill and also integrate into student life. So it's giving you that kind of foundation, that basis before you start your 3-year degree. So interview tips for you to keep in mind when you potentially are called to interview. So first things first, your appearance. So it's really important for you to present yourself in a professional way. So this would be wearing appropriate clothing, such as a shirt or a dress or a jumpsuit. So something that you would typically wear if you were to go to a face-to-face interview. However, this would be virtual. Lighting and location is really key. You want the person that's interviewing you to see you, and also vice versa. And you want to be in a space where you're not going to be disturbed. You haven't got, your parents trying to talk to you, and it's just really quiet and calm, so you can just focus on your screen. Headphones are key to sound quality, so again, you don't get any distractions from what's going on around you. When I say resources, these are your portfolio, so the things that you want to show to the person that's interviewing you. So have them prepared in your, on your PC, so they're ready to hand, and so you're not faffing around when it comes to the interview going over to you and demonstrating your passion and your skills. And also having a glass of water, just to keep yourself hydrated and so you're able to talk concisely. And last but not least, having some prepared questions. So I can imagine there's lots of things that you want to know. And so this is a really good opportunity to ask them any questions that you want to know, whether it's about societies at the university, whether it's about placement opportunities. So it's a two-way thing. They want to get to know you as much as you want to get to know them. So have some prepared questions for your interviewer. So facilities, whether you're going on site or you're doing your virtual tours of a campus, facilities are a really key factor in seeing what's available that marries up with your course. So if you were considering studying animation, do they have the facilities? Do they have a studio? Do they have the right software? If you currently use Macs at college or school, are you able to make that easy transition because they already have the same software that you're disciplined in from studying at school and college? The same goes for music. If you're interested in music, do they have great facilities? Do they have a lot of instruments that you might play yourselves, and do you have easy access to them? Do they have the capacity in their studio for you to potentially get a big orchestra or a group in with you? So do they have the facilities that you like to use, or that you're already using at school and college? If you're interested in journalism, do they have a multimedia newsroom where you can sit like one of our students and be in front of a camera and be confident and be able to read off the screen? So do they have those facilities? Again, with television studio, if you are wanting to break into the industry of television or film, do they have all of these state-of-the-art equipment for you to really get yourself upskilled and be able to apply those skills once you graduate into the industry? And these are just a range of other things that might be applicable to the degrees that you wish to study. So it's really key that when you're doing your virtual tour or your on-site tour, to seek out these facilities and see what's on offer for you. So industry links. When we talk about industry links, these are the links that universities have with other companies to enable you to have work experience or short-term or long-term placement. So here we have Lindsay Dryden, who is an internationally recognised writer and producer of work that is featured on the BBC and Netflix. So can you imagine going to university and your academics are actually people that currently work in the industry? So that gives you really good networking opportunities, and also you can have conversations to find out, what was their pathway into getting to their current job role, what things you need to do in terms of top tips. And also it gives you a great opportunity to start mapping out your future and seeking out those placement and work experience opportunities. So when you are narrowing down your university decision, do look at the partnerships that they have with other companies, because when you graduate, that could be a possible place where you could end up working. And here are a few companies where students have completed work placements. So media is incredibly exciting. There are a multitude of companies and places where you can go to do work experience. So if you're interested in music, you can go and work at EMI or Universal Music Group. If you want to work in TV, we've had students that have worked for ITV and they've worked on X Factor, Britain's Got Talent. If you want to go into film, Warner Brothers is another great company. We've got Heat Magazine for those of you that want to go into magazine publication. And if any of you are interested in animation, we have great links with Aardman based in Bristol. But as you can see, there are lots of other opportunities for you to go and get some work experience and upskill yourself so you're prepared to go into the industry once you graduate. And also here is a student who got the opportunity to go to Asia. So the placement opportunities aren't just limited to the UK. You've got an opportunity to travel. So she was able to go to Asia and interview Leonardo DiCaprio on a red carpet for Once Upon a Time in America. So imagine that student has had that experience and what it looks like to an employer on her CV, because she's gained so many skills from going to another country. She might have learned a new language. She definitely would have boosted her confidence, being able to speak to a really high profile celebrity and actually maintain her cool. And also working in an industry for, you know, whether it's a short term or long term period of time, she would have got that industry insight. So skills are definitely something that you will acquire when you go on a work placement. These aren't just practical skills. Definitely when you study media, you'll be disciplined in using particular software such as Adobe Photoshop. You'll be taught how to assemble and disassemble a camera, edit music in a sound booth, but you'll also get transferable skills that will go over to other industries such as business, education or marketing. And these are skills such as problem solving, communication, working to a brief, pitching and presenting. So these are all desirable skills from other industries that aren't just limited to media. So if you think studying a media degree won't just give you practical skills, it'll also give you transferable skills. So combining those two will make you incredibly employable to not only people wanting to recruit in the media sector, but lots of other sectors as well. And here are some example media careers once you graduate. So as I said before, if you really love festivals and music and you're interested in the business of music, you could go into A&R, which is artist and repertoire. So this is managing an act or managing a band. If you really enjoy the technical side of, you know, working with equipment, you could become a camera operator, and that's not just limited to film or TV. You could also do theatre and big scale events. You could also even do wedding planning. If you really like music and you really like the concepts of music videos and you think, I've got really exciting ideas I want to see come to fruition, you could become a music video editor. If you want to go on the sidelines and report on sport, you can be a sports commentator. If you really love reading Elle magazine, Heat magazine, really interested in the development of magazines when they go to print, you become an editor. Again, if you're super techy and you really like how apps work, you could become an app designer. So there's lots of other really incredible, exciting opportunities for you to go into when you graduate from a media-related degree. So for further course information, please visit our university's website if you're interested in attending our university. But equally, if you'd like some further information as to what's available at other universities across the UK, you can go to the UCAS website, which has all the course information and all the universities in the UK. So thank you for listening. I hope this was really informative for you. And if you do have any questions, please let me know.